I was just like, I was so intimidated by it, so I completely understand how you must have felt. So tell us about the day that you found out that you're going to write this episode.
So I had done the second assistant job with Shonda, and then I was moved to Grey's Anatomy as a writer's PA after she had read one of my samples, the same sample that I gave to my agent and my manager. And so we had a new showrunner come in, and they had asked for freelance ideas. I was put up as a name for possible freelance. And so she had received my sample, and she was like, cool, I'm the new showrunner, hi. Come pitch me your freelance next week. And I was like, oh. And so over the weekend, I racked my brain, and I didn't talk to my husband, and was just in my little cove, and I came up with the idea for this episode you saw. And then I went to her house, and it was on a nice little porch that I pitched the episode, that idea that I had, and she loved it and was like, come write it. And about 85% of what I pitched made it to that episode that you saw.
Wow.
Writing most of it, and then us actors come in and trample all over it. Did you find that as far as making this episode quite an interesting challenge? You know, was that, I mean, because it's kind of the thing about making TV, you know, it's like actors come in with all their ideas, and I am one, so I know I do that sometimes. Like, I wouldn't say this. I wouldn't say this. I would say something more like this. How did you find that? Did you find that challenging, or?
No, I thought it was awesome. Like, especially for this first one, because I had never had like professional people read my work, right? And so I thought it was interesting because, like, you guys, or just actors in general, bring, like, I'll have how I think a line is said in my head when I'm writing it, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is what they mean. And then you get another mind in there to say it, and it's said in a completely different way than I had imagined it. And at first it's like it's not like it's a, I never imagined that being said that way. And then you think about it, it's like, yeah, that works, and it's actually better. That's awesome. So that happened a lot, especially in this episode.
Yeah, I noticed that in this episode. We all contributed quite a lot, you know. But I know I direct a lot too, and sometimes actors have bad ideas that they think are great ideas, and then that's when it's tougher. You know,
that's when we just use words to sway you back down this way.
Yeah. Do you enjoy the being on set? As far as like being the writer on set, do you enjoy that part of the process?
Yeah, it's cool. It's it's nice. It's different. But I'm learning as I go. Yeah. Because you're like, oh, I also have a job to do, and I am writing from Meredith. Great, that's cool. I'd say the person I relate most to is Maggie. Because she's goofy and a nerd and a perfectionist and is me. So that was the easiest. I'd say the hardest is Alex. Alex is probably the hardest for me because he has such an interesting like cadence and rhythm to him, and an interesting perspective, and so that one I have to work at.
So what conversation do you have in the writer's room about revealing in this episode the details about Megan's kidnapping? Because that was a big mystery in our show for a long time. What happened at that time? How did that come about?
That was in my pitch, because we hadn't established it yet. So I got to pitch it, and they were like, "That's cool, we'll use it."
Yeah. You make it sound easy. That's really cool. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that was the case.
Yeah. I mean, we had an idea, but I got to
Right.
In my initial pitch to the actual runner, I got to pitch it.
Our director was called Cecilia. She's a Norwegian director. Do you think this episode, I certainly do, and I'm sure you do, that I think it came out feeling very different than a lot of our episodes, really because of your voice, and I think Cecilia's kind of, you know, writers who are trying to get on that journey.
So you hear it all the time, write your stories, get your stuff out and finish it. It's not enough to just start writing, you gotta finish it, and you have to have that script, or you have to have that novel draft, you have to have the thing that when that agent or that manager or that actor or producer or person who works with a writer says, oh, you write, well, can I read something? You gotta have it ready. So, and it has to be not only ready, but great. Like the best story that you can make it. And I know we like hit our heads against the wall all the time, like, oh, this is not good enough, I can make this better. You go to rough draft number 57, number 67, and you know, you reach that point where at some point you can't make it better, you're just changing it. So once you reach that point, then it's ready to go out, and then, you know, make sure you get feedback, and then you just be ready for when that opportunity comes. Because you never know, again, you never know where the opportunity comes, you just gotta be ready for when it does.
Do you, when you're saying about draft this, draft that, have you got projects that you abandoned? Do you have stuff that you went, just isn't working? Or
yes.
Is everything a work in progress for you?
No, there's stuff where, I mean, you go through your learning periods. There is a lot of stuff from my MFA program that's in a drawer and it will never be opened. Though, again, you never know where you might go back and like resurface something. I have a feature script, Pirates versus Ninjas. I'm gonna go back to that.
There's a role for Scotsman in that, right?
Heck yeah.
Really? You're gonna go back to it?
I am totally going back to that. Yeah, it's trash right now. It's so terrible. It's garbage. There's like a 12-page long scene in that thing. It's bad, but the concept is still great, and it's